Government scientists are warning of grave consequences if the U.S. does not take immediate action to curb climate change. Night Beat's Christin Ayers on the findings of a new report that the president probably will not like.
The report released today is a sweeping assessment of the risks of climate change. It comes at a critical time as the deadliest wildfire in state history is still burning. A warning shot tonight on climate change. The federal assessment released today paints a grim picture of the consequences of doing nothing about greenhouse gas emissions.
The new report is even more definitive than earlier reports in saying climate change is real, it's caused by humans, and the impacts on society and on the environment are going to be large.
Dr. Peter Glick, a climate scientist with the Pacific Institute, was a lead author on the original climate assessment in the 1990s. He says this report has a new urgency.
It doesn't say these are impacts that we're going to see in the future. It says these are impacts we're already seeing.
Impacts like the Camp Fire, California's deadliest. The report estimates in the West, climate change has already doubled the area burned by wildfires in the last 30 years.
California is going to be one of the more vulnerable regions of the country.
Subject to sea rise, drought, longer fire seasons, and more intense wildfires. Governor Jerry Brown acknowledged California must do more.
It's going to require reducing carbon emissions and eventually, sooner rather than later, to zero. And if we don't do that, you're going to see these fires not only continuing, but getting worse.
In a statement, the White House said the new report was largely based on the most extreme scenario, which contradicts long-established trends. But Glick says the good news is there is more awareness of climate change and more efforts to fight it.
In California, we've seen enormous rapid growth in renewable energy, in solar energy, in wind, in hydropower, in geothermal, and things that don't produce the carbon dioxide that's causing much of the climate change we see.
But he says rapid, radical changes will be needed to avoid the report's most dire predictions. Christin Ayers on the Night Beat.